Okay, we're given a graph of a quadratic function, and our goal is to come up with the function itself that would produce this graph. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify the vertex on this. So it looks like the vertex, that highest point as our graph has it, is going to be at 3, 1. To start coming up with this function, what I want to do is I want to attach a 3 and a 1 in the appropriate places to use transformations to move our entire graph that normally the vertex would be at 0, 0, the origin, for a normal just x squared graph, but everything's been moved, it looks like, to the right 3. So in with the x on our squared graph, I want to attach a 3 in. To move to the right 3, I'm going to subtract 3 from the entire directly from x, and that'll accomplish this. If we had meant to move everything to the left 3, you'd be adding 3 in that set of parentheses with the x. And I want to move everything up 1. So I'm going to add 1 to the entire function. Now, if you would want to move everything down 1, that would be subtracting 1 from the entire function right there. The other thing that we have to account for is there could be a stretch or a compression or a vertical transformation as a reflection. Looks like this one has been reflected upside down because the tails are not opening up, they're opening down on this one. To account for this, what we want to do next is identify one more point that's on our original graph. Now we could go with, it looks like 4, -1. We could do 2, -1. Those are the most obvious ones as I'm taking a look at it. So as we get looking at this, you could use either one of these points, just choose one and go with it. I'm going to go with 2, -1. So 2 is an x value, -1 is an f of x or y value. And now I'm going to substitute those into the formula we're coming up with on the right-hand side. So for f of x, we can replace that with -1. And for x, we can replace that with 2. This creates a formula that has only one unknown. We don't know what a is at this point, but everything else is constants. So let's do a little bit of simplifying down. We can say -1 equals a times 2 minus 3 inside our parentheses will give us a -1 squared. Bring along that +1 at the end. Now we have -1 equals a times -1 squared, means -1 times -1, which would be +1. Bring along that +1 at the end. And then all we have to do really to get a by itself is a times 1 is just going to be a, but we're going to have to subtract the 1 from both sides to isolate that. So we have -2 is our value for a. All right. The very last thing we want to do is take this value for a back up to the original function that we had come up with, substitute it back in. So we have f of x equals -2 times the quantity x minus 3 squared with a +1 attached at the end. And that'll be the function that creates the graph that we were originally given. All right, hope this helps out. Use that vertex in our transformations and one additional point to come up with these formulas. Good luck.